1, 2, 1, 2. Hi everybody, listen, it's 5 minutes before Janine's launch of her brand new book, Intentionality. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give away a book, a notebook, and a pen, 2 of these packs, to 2 intentional viewers. All you have to do when they start with the broadcast today, you have to tag 10 of your friends, and you will stand a chance to win a book, an intentional notebook, and an intentional pen. Don't tell her, but it's going to be off the hook. See you in 5.
Hallo Janine, dit is so 'n voorreg vir ons om 'n videoetjie vir jou te maak. Ons is nogal trots op jou. Ons dink aan die dae toe jy by ons op die HK was. Toe was jy nog hierdie entoesiastiese jong student, hierdie HK lid wat alles ontsettend goed georganiseer het. Alles was in plek gewees en jy was altyd entrepreneurs, het vir ons lekker planne gemaak. Dit is die Janine wat ek onthou. En nou kom ek en ek sien jy het 'n boek geskryf. Dit klop met die Janine wat ons het. Ons is baie bly dat ons jou by ons kon gehad het, dat ons miskien 'n invloed gehad het op jou denke en manier van doen, en ons wens jou baie sterkte toe vanaand.
Hallo Janine, ja, Tannie Wilma is so trots op jou. Ek onthou hoe vrolike kind jy altyd was en in die HK so beplant was en alles, dit wat jy wou doen het jy altyd uitgevoer met vreeslike entoesiasme. En as ek het reg onthou, dink ek jy was Joel HK lid. Dalk is ek verkeerd, maar jy het dit uitstekend gedoen in elk geval. As jy verkeerd is, is dit ook reg. Want jy het alles wat jy gedoen het baie goed gedoen met geweldige entoesiasme. Okay Janine, geniet dit alles wat jy nou met jou boek en alles wat jy gaan ervaar. Bye bye.
Good day and welcome to Janine Cabo's launch of a brand new book, Intentionality, 10 Ways to Lead a Rewarding and an Intentional Life. Janine, congratulations on an incredible and an excellent book.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here, and it's been quite the journey and the process in order to get to this place.
Absolutely. I want to encourage you to please share the feed and also like our pages on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Today is going to be all about intentionality. Now, most people, when they write a book, they have one person that does a foreword that impacted their life. But I see that you've chosen two incredible, well-respected men of God, Apostle Nikki van der Westhuizen and Dr. Vivian Rogers.
Yes, my journey with Apostle Nikki has actually been over the last 11 years, where he's given me the opportunity to apply the principles that he's taught me, either in leadership or through teaching or through cell groups, which is really given me the platform to be able to do what I do today. And with Dr. Vivian Rogers, it's been a shorter journey, but just as impactful, as we sat for many hours and he pulled out wisdom and knowledge from the inside of me that I didn't even know was there. And then he helped me to take that and put it into the pages of the book. And that's where we are today.
How important is these mentors in your life to help you on this journey?
It's absolutely vital. I was thinking about this the other day. If we went on a match or we went on a game for rugby, netball, whatever sport we're playing, you would not dare step out in that field without your coach and
That's
without
right.
any of that. But why on earth do we want to do the game of life without a coach? So for me, it's absolutely vital.
You don't just speak about mentors in the last couple of years, but childhood mentors. Two of them particularly, Lizette Murray and Nina Smith.
Yeah, absolutely. Lizette Murray was actually one of my primary school teachers, and one of the things that she always encouraged us to do was to read books and write down, make notes, journal. And that was definitely one of the things that I took for myself. Also, not even knowing that started the creative process for me with the writing.
I actually got a little surprise for you. We have a message from Lizette Murray just for you.
I'm Lizette Murray, one of Janine's primary school teachers. I remember Janine as a quiet girl, wide-eyed and eager to learn, positive and always ready with a smile. A teacher can never know what influence he or she has on children, be it negative or positive. I wasn't aware that this attentive, quiet girl paid attention to what I said. And I can't even remember what I told these lively youngsters back in 1998, 1999. But I do remember that I often told them that they would soon forget the facts and even the marks they got in their tests and exams. And that's okay, because what they learn about life is more important than any school report. I urged them to read, because books open new worlds and prepare one for one's task in life, far better than any teacher can do. Schools tend to reward visible achievements. Qualities such as politeness, humility, honesty, kindness, perseverance are often overlooked, and sport and academic achievers are applauded. Therefore, I encouraged these 11, 12-year-olds to keep on dreaming, to never give up, even though grown-ups might tell them they're not up to a certain task, and even if there is no proof yet to show that they were going to make a success of their lives. I urged them to remember that every one of them is special and unique, to believe in the future, and to believe in God, and hold on to His promises. Janine took this advice to heart. Janine, congratulations. Here you are, on the first page of a wonderful new chapter in your life. This chapter is linked to the very first chapter in which you started out as a wide-eyed schoolgirl with dreams in your eyes. May your book touch the hearts and lives of many people along the way. And may God bless you and this inspiring book.
Wow, Ifra Lizette, thank you so much. It's really people like you that sees things like wide-eyed schoolgirl with dreams in her eyes that makes dreams like this become a reality.
Dreams. This is a dream that has become a reality.
Yeah.
And you spoke about the mentors of today, but you also now alluded to the people of the past. Bind the process together for us and for those people that are watching today. You know the process, the journey.
Yeah, I speak right in the beginning of the book about the 4 Ds that I went through, and that was part of my process: is divorce, depression, death of income, and delivering a baby. None of those things came easy, and none of those things were easy, but it was part of my process. When I was growing up, and I say this very humbly, it was easy for me to do sports. It was easy for me to get into the team and to play, and it was easy for me to go play a match. I also knew that I didn't give my best, for instance, at a practice. So when in life, when those 4 Ds came, I had to dig really deep for the power and the strength to get through it, because when I was younger, I never developed that. So when those things came, I had to really get to know myself again.
I believe there are many people watching today that they don't have the 4 Ds, but they have something similar that they are going through.
Yeah.
What would you encourage them? How do they overcome those obstacles?
I think the most important thing is to get to know yourself. When I was growing up as well in primary school, our headmaster at that time, Meneer Erasmus, said to us, we were just selected for prefects, and we were sitting in a class, and he did it so casually. I remember he was still busy like opening the windows and getting the class ready, and he turned around and said, if I can just tell you one thing today, and that you must remember for the rest of your life, is get to know yourself. And I wrote it down. That's what he said we must do, write it down. And I didn't know the value of that or understand the value of that, but I thought I'm going to give it a go and get to know myself. You obviously have to do it a lot of times through life, and every time whatever your D is comes around, you kind of have to reevaluate again who you are and what you need to develop in that season. So if you ask that question again, what do you need to do is get to know yourself.
Wow. What would you say is one of the first things that you were reminded of or been made aware of who you are?
Definitely my self-confidence, because that is something that as a child, I thought I had, but as an adult, I lost completely. So that was one of the things I honestly had to just build up again and work at right from the start again.
You speak about 10 ways to live a rewarding and an intentional life.
Yeah.
I know the viewers out there, they want to know, what is your favorite? Which one of these principles, these 10, or maybe 2 or 3 of your favorite principles?
Definitely for me, intend for your soul, because if our soul is strong and our spirit is strong, we can overcome anything in life. The second one for me would definitely be relationships. If I say I genuinely care about people, I speak the truth when it comes to that. So relationships for me is very important. I speak about the various ships in our lives or relationships, which is leadership and self-development or self-leadership. So, and then also team. But then again, it all comes down to people, because that is one of the things that I really love is people and how to work around that, how to intend for your team.
Speaking about leadership and speaking about relationship, right now, if you go to Instagram or Facebook, you have the opportunity to win a free coaching session with Janine, as she's going to take you on this journey of intentionality. So quickly jump onto Instagram or Facebook. All the details are on the screen, and you can stand a chance to win a coaching session with Janine. Coaching is a passion of yours, something that you've been doing for many, many years. Yeah. You've also gone to America with the prestigious John Maxwell team, become a coach there, speaker, trainer. How was the journey with leadership and John Maxwell? How does it play a part in all of this?
It was amazing. I remember when we were sitting in Orlando, we were sitting in a small conference room, and John Maxwell was just addressing a couple of people at that point in time. And somebody asked, and I'm so glad they did, because I wanted to, but again, self-confidence, I didn't get up and ask the question. But that lady luckily asked, but how do you go from being in full-time ministry onto leadership? And how do you take the Bible out of what you say? And he turned to her like quite surprised and he said, I don't take the Bible out. I'm just not mentioning the scriptures. Everything I teach is biblical. And for me, that was such a moment. So that process again is you can be exactly who you are in any industry, in any place that you work at, or any industry that you are working in. Because he went from full-time ministry into the corporate world and he could just be himself.
That's amazing. That's quite powerful. I know you're very involved in church and ministry. Leadership is a passion of yours. Serving people is a passion of yours. How would you want this book to serve those that are reading it?
So for me, when I read a book, I don't want to just read the book. I want to actually apply the book, because that's when it, becomes powerful, practical, and also becomes alive in your own life. So keeping that in mind, when I wrote every chapter, at the end of every chapter, there's a practical application. So I want to encourage you, when you read it, while you read it, get a notebook, get a pen, and ask those questions to yourself. Like I asked thought-provoking questions so that you can evaluate yourself, get to know yourself. And then at the end of the book, there's an assessment as well to see how intentional you really are. So how is it going to serve them is take the book, apply it to your life, and use it so that you can use it daily, like as a handbook.
So you're taking these 10 principles and you are helping people to practically apply that to their lives.
Absolutely.
People in everyday life, from church, work, business, some of your coaching clients.
Absolutely. Like in the last couple of months, I've taken about 10 clients and we've walked an intentional journey by applying these principles to our life, like Diana in New Jersey, USA.
Do you think she would agree that it's been a journey for her?
I hope so.
Well, I'm going to do it to you again. We got a surprise for you. I want all of you to welcome Diana.
Hello, my name is Diana Maganuco, and I've had the pleasure of knowing Janine for 8 years. We've met in Orlando, Florida in February of 2013 at a John Maxwell Leadership Conference. And contagious, and her smile and her love for life and God is somebody that I needed to be part of her life and part of her world. And I am so blessed. 8 years later, and she's helped me with some logos back when we first came home. But now our business wouldn't be exactly where it is now without Janine. We hired her. My husband and I have our own business now. We work together and we hired her as our business strategist, digital marketer, and now my full-time life coach. Besides my therapist that I have for the past 9 years, I knew I needed something more, something business-wise, something to unite my husband and my son and God, and to give me some intentionality. And Janine was the right person. Janine, you mean so much to our family. Your love, your passion, your dedication is something that resonates with us daily as part of our life and part of our work. I want to thank you for everything that you mean to us, for all the love that you spread daily. And this book is just a blessing for anybody that has the opportunity to read it. I love you, your family, and your children, and I am so ecstatic to see your growth and be part of your journey. Love you.
Janine, how do you manage a coaching client in a different country, different time zone?
It was actually quite easy for me, and because it's been part of my process again and journey. My mom had her office always at home, so we were used to having overseas visitors there and working in different time zones.
All right.
As a child, we actually adopted the saying of work-life integration.
You mean work-life balance?
Work-life integration. So what we actually did is we said that if you have work-life balance, you constantly need to find a balance. So something is off somewhere. But with work-life integration, we literally worked all of our schedules as parents and parent-teachers, and children into one schedule, and we were all part of the same. And so sometimes I can remember we would have overseas clients there and overseas visitors from my mom's side, and we would be able and allowed to sit in the office while they're having a meeting. Not because we are bothering them, because my mom wanted us to see how a meeting is getting conducted.
Wow.
But then on another time, I can remember some of those overseas visitors was also watching netball. So that's how we integrated work life into one.
So she literally integrated the work, the life, family.
Absolutely. And another thing is, back then we were working with, and I say we were because I felt so part of the process, I felt so part of the working environment. They used to conduct meetings through a teleconference, where today we just do it through Zoom. So none of these things were strange for us, and like even time zones, you just adapt.
Now, you can't tell us about these international overseas business people that are coming over without, tell us a little bit more.
I can remember people like Mark, and yes, we would, like I said, sit in a meeting and we would listen to how they conduct international global meetings, and then the next moment when we walk out of the office, we would sit by the piano and listen to and play, and Uncle Mark will play for us, ABBA songs.
Sorry, you're saying Uncle Mark. I mean, this is an international business client of your mom, and you call him Uncle.
But they become so part of you. It gets so integrated that, work-life integration just becomes so part of you. And yes, you learn the principles, you meet the people, but like my mom always said as well, is that if you can understand any type of music, you can understand any type of person. And sitting there with Uncle Mark, and we were playing music, we got to know each other, we got to spend time with global leaders. The exposure was just amazing.
Well, Uncle Mark, I hope you hear the SOS. We need you to be on Janine's podcast, 10 Intentional Minutes with Janine the Cabo.
Absolutely. And another time that I remember with Mark was when we were driving to Pilanesberg, and he just could not understand the thing with brand names. And being at the age that I was at that time, it was pretty important for me. And we spent like 6 hours, he was trying to convince me how unimportant brand names were. So Uncle Mark, I just want to say thank you. I'm over that now. I find real value in real things called people these days. So thank you so much for that value added to my life.
Your mom obviously played a tremendous role in your life. You've explained the work-life integration, but at a young age, they moved abroad, and you didn't have that relationship. How did you remain connected to your mom, and what was the journey after, they left South Africa and they went to live abroad?
I think it's also making use of every opportunity that you get, not always quantity, but quality makes a big difference in that. And even with like working with her also being in a different time zone, is the Zoom, the Skype, is take every opportunity and share little moments. I think that's what works for us, is sharing little moments. When you're so far, you can feel very disconnected, but sharing photos and videos and little moments, that is what really made the difference for us.
They say third time's the charm. Dion, over to you.
Hi there. We want to congratulate Janine on her new book. And I must say, she's practicing what she's preaching. She's also helping us as a congregation in Dubai and Abu Dhabi to live more intentionally. She's part of our team. We love her very much. She's always on time, on target, on point. And thank you. And I hope God will bless this work of you immensely.
That was Dr. Dion all the way from Dubai Afrikaanse Kerk. It's a client of Janine. About 5 years that you've had this relationship with them, helping them in their journey in growing their church and growing their people.
Yeah, and especially more on the digital side and the video, and also social media on the Facebook, and also with their sermons and their videos.
So we spoke about coaching, we spoke about your passion in church and your involvement in training and developing people in ministry. You also have a different aspect to you, which is the marketing, the creative, the digital, the social media aspect. How do you combine all of these things? I mean, it's like, you're one person, but there's so many facets and aspects.
So if you know a little bit about me, you know that brand and identity, because that was such a big struggle for me, is very important. So when I had to get to know myself, I realized that a person obviously had characteristics and morals and values. And then when I got onto the business side of things, I realized, wow, a company or a brand has same things, characteristics, values, and morals. And then I just applied it to each other. So many years ago, about a decade ago, I started my own company. And I said that if I'm going to build brands, then I need everything under the one umbrella. So I created the social media side, or the digital side, the graphic design side, the printing, the coaching. And you're thinking, but how does these things all fit together? Well, all of those things build a brand, or all of those things build the people who builds the brand.
If you're a business owner or a senior manager and executive in your company, I want to encourage you, go right now to LinkedIn. You have the opportunity to win a free coaching session with Janine, where she can help your company and set up your corporate identity,
Yes.
set up a marketing plan, get some strategic structures in place that's going to help grow, build, and expand your business and become intentional towards your clients. So you can go to LinkedIn right now. Janine, when you were writing this book, who was the people that you had in mind, and who is this book for?
I think you said it early on, and the testimonies also said it. It's for top and senior management, entrepreneurs, as well as church leaders.
Everybody that writes a book wants their book to be for everybody. Will you say that this book is for everybody, or only that group of people that you've just explained?
I definitely believe that anybody can get a lot of value from this book, because you can take it and you can apply the principles to your own life. No matter where you are, what your title is, or where you are in life, the season you find yourself in, you will be able to find value out of this.
I want to encourage you right now, if you go to Twitter, you have the opportunity to get a free coaching session with Janine. She's going to help you with your intentional journey on living a rewarding and intentional life. We spoke a lot about coaching, and I want to know, where did the passion for coaching start? And can you maybe give us some examples of how you are intentional in your life in coaching people?
I think if you know me in the business side, you would know that I stand for passion, power, and purpose. And if we just take passion for a minute, the word pass is in passion. I had to honestly give myself a pass on life.
Oh, wow.
With the things that, because I was too hard on myself, you know, I am driven and I am motivated to achieve success, but there were certain places I had to give myself a pass. And because I genuinely do care for people, I realized that a lot of us don't give ourselves a pass. And I wanted to help people to still achieve, still go through the journey and enjoy it while they're doing it, while giving themselves a pass. And I could help them with that, to reach that dream, to reach that place that they want to get at.
So you're coaching people abroad, internationally?
Absolutely, internationally. Again, going back to a previous conversation, is with technology today, time zones don't even matter anymore. So it makes it so easy. But I also have South African clients. One of my clients is actually in Rustenburg. And if you think about it, she's a teacher and she's also a leader, because she needs to lead our next generation.
You know, don't get upset with me. But at this point in time, let's go to Chris now.
I almost want to say take 10. It's the 10th video I started, maybe, I don't know. But every time when I start one, I start with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, so that my nerves can calm. And it's something I've learned from Janine to do before a stressful situation or a video, or just to get up in the morning. So it works, because here's the video now, hey? And I think the most difficult part of making this video for me is to speak about someone and a product of someone that words cannot justify. And you would understand that statement if you know Janine. Incredible woman, a true leader, an awesome life coach, and then one of the most godliest people I ever know, and who's not ashamed of that. And I think that is where the big success in Janine lies, is in her faith. Janine, Thank you for all the time, the sessions, the phone calls, the help, the cries that you need to listen to, and and it made a difference. One of our goals that we set was reached, and in a very short time, and I couldn't have done it without you. I'm glad to call you my coach. I'm glad to call you my friend. And to anybody out there, if you get to do with Janine, it's going to be intentional, and she's going to change you intentional, or help you to change intentionally. So yeah, I cannot wait for the book. I've ordered a copy. Yoo-hoo!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can actually buy my book on Amazon and Takealot, or all leading online stores.
So Janine, they have your book. Some lucky viewers have a free coaching session with you. What would be the next step? What else do you have in store for them?
Well, from next week, you can actually watch 10 weeks of intentionality, starting on Tuesday, the 10th of November at 10 o'clock. It was done very intentionally for the next 10 weeks, every single week.
So you're going to take the 10 principles from your book and every week unpack it for those viewers.
Yes, definitely. That's exactly what we do.
Then you also have a podcast.
Yes.
10 intentional minutes with Janine.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
Well, that is exactly it. It's 10 minutes that you can take from your day that we will launch once a month, telling you, discussing the principles, but also much more than that, and just taking 10 minutes of your day and making an impact where you can actually apply it.
Is it just yourself, or do you have special guests like Uncle Mark?
Yes, hopefully we will have Uncle Mark soon, but there is myself and then some surprises and special guests, yes.
We are all looking forward to intentionality and living a rewarding and intentional life. Thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate that. I know that everybody that has tuned in is ready to get this book on all the platforms. It's available. You can just, on the screen, you will see Amazon, Takealot. Get your copy today of Intentionality. It's really going to touch and it's going to change your life. It's going to help you to live a rewarding and an intentional life. Have a great day.